I just wanted to include you.
I need to find a real tall person.
What you need?
I put you on that chair, straighten that back.
3 o'clock, okay. After the meeting, I'm like, right now?
No.
Okay.
Fine, how are you, man?
Stand this time for a moment of silence and then we'll do pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Comment at this time.
I'm here for the farmer's market, so I think I briefly had a conversation with you a couple months ago, but my name is Christina Brown and I work with Farmers Insurance Agent here in town, Brad Smith. And we were wanting to organize a more formal farmers market and we're just requesting permission to host it on the grounds here. And I know it's public property, but I didn't know if we need to have some kind of a actual agreement written or just verbal with the county.
My knowledge can't sound here.
Yeah, if it's just use of the property, you may ask for an insurance certificate or something, but it's just general permission to use, just like for the, and you have a agreement for the fairs.
So that was my second question on the insurance is we are going to carry special event insurance, of course. But didn't know if the county needed to be added on as additional insured.
That'd be great.
Okay. And then on our vendors, we are going to also require them to hold insurance, and do they also need to have the county as additionally insured?
If they will, that would just be,
I'd be like pulling teeth.
Well, I mean, they're going to have our insurance company added as additionally insured too. I mean,
Right,
we just live in a day and age where you got to cover all your bases. So.
right.
Absolutely. And then additionally, do both the farmer's market and all the vendors need to sign a liability waiver for the county?
required that in the past.
Okay,
No, the certificates of insurance would be great if we can get from you guys. I know you'll get them, but
well, we're gonna require that they get them to
Awesome.
us, so, I mean, I know.
it might be a small festival then, because a lot of those people.
Well,
aren't
and I do understand that things have been very
Yeah.
lax in the past, but I'm just following the protocol that I've
Good for
been
you.
given, and, you know,
That's
I may
awesome.
get
That's awesome.
pushback, but, and then I wasn't sure if, the electricity on the poles and the gazebo, like who that belongs to, if that's city or county?
City.
That is city, both the gazebo and the poles. I'm gonna attend that meeting tonight too, so. And then the only other thing I really thought I might need is like contact for the maintenance crew in case there's any issues, like ground maintenance.
Rick, I don't know. I don't
I'll tell you
know.
what, just use it. I mean, like, what were you thinking could possibly come up?
I don't know, I mean, I know we're gonna wanna put some signs out in the yard, and again, not sure, you know, is that something we can leave out for the whole season, just maybe on the corners, or do they need to just go out? They'd just be small yard signs.
On the corners.
On the corners and.
And that's a city.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Because you guys do the- Who does the mowing though?
Rick does the mowing, but when you're just talking a little,
Just little yard signs that just have, you know, because we're gonna run June through October on Saturdays from 9 to 1.
and actually this year Rick won't be doing mowing, so, yeah, we'll deal with it. So,
Leave them out and
Okay.
So everything sounds good to go. If you have any questions, you can call Farmers Insurance Agency. I'm there 3 days a week, but he can always,
Good.
yeah, and then I can duck out. But I do appreciate your time. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much. Anybody else? Yes, someone else?
My neighbor, Ron McBride, and I, Leon Phillips, we live on West Cover Bridge Road. And this is right in the area where Shawnee Bottoms is located. I don't know whether you're familiar with that or not.
Niches Land Trust.
Yeah, and back in August 12th, 2021, in the Fountain County Neighbor, they had a half-a-page article in there about the Attica Community Foundation awards funds for improvements to Shawnee Bottoms Nature Preserve. And I've got it highlighted here in this, and Roger Duncan recently awarded $10,000 on behalf of Attica Community Foundation, Bill Arthur, president of Niches Land Trust, for improvements to the entrance and parking area to create 3.5 miles of trails located in Shawnee Bottoms. So they donated $10,000 to improve the parking for that. I don't know whether you're familiar with Shawnee Bottoms, but there's 3.5 miles of trails there that Niches maintains. So they haven't started doing anything there, but if they're going to spend $10,000 on the parking lot, well, they're going to really be making it more presentable. And the thing that I wanted to talk to you about was West Cover Bridge Road from Williamsport Road into Portland Arch is gravel. It's surrounded by blacktop roads everywhere. And I live right close to Williamsport Road, and I see a lot of motorcycles that come down there, and I paid to have 0.2 of a mile of blacktop. Well, they go past our road and then they put on the brakes, they turn around, they go back. I'm sure a lot of them are headed for Shawnee Bottoms, but the gravel road, it's hard to maintain. It's kind of a swampy area, and the gravel road is kind of a misfit for everything there. So the thing I was wanting to do is if you have plans for blacktopping roads this year, just consider this 2.2 miles between Williamsport Road and Portland Arch.
2.2 miles.
Yeah.
Everything for this year's been spoken on blacktop. And the last I ever heard, what's chip and seal, like 22,000 per mile?
It's somewhere around in that neck of the woods, yes.
It, and also, Leon, something that happened, there's a big project right now for a trail that comes from Cass County, Logansport, Indiana, down to Carroll County, Tippecanoe County, Fountain County, and Niches Land Trust will be along that trail. If that happens, there might be monies that come in that help chip and seal or blacktop that through there also. So it might be coming. We have not chip and sealed anything new for a while. I'm looking at the highway guys, and I'm looking back there.
It's been a while.
Anything new, we have enough problem keeping up with the roads we have.
Yeah, sure.
But we'll definitely take it, keep it in mind, and
Okay.
I we can't promise you anything.
Yeah.
And like you
But
said, if there's some grants available, to help with that, we would certainly entertain that.
Yeah, really, we're very blessed and fortunate to have something like Niches.
Yeah, and then Portland Arch right there by it.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got a lot of track people down on that trail.
yeah. So the gravel road there, it's, you know, a road grader, he comes up there, he does a good job, but, everything else is blacktop down there. So
Right. Hey, Travis. Travis. Hello, and Jake, did you hear that?
What's that?
Leon, repeat what you just said about the grader operator.
Yeah, the grader operator, he does a good job on,
We don't hear that very often.
but, you know, this gravel road section is in the middle, everything around is blacktop. So we get out there, do that and go somewhere else, so. Blacktop will have to, free up the grader for, you know, taking care of that.
The other niche is property in the county's on chip and seal, down in the southern part of the county.
Yeah, I know where that,
But, okay, thank you very much.
okay, and thank you for the privilege of presenting to.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And we don't take offense if you want to get out of here.
Okay, well, somebody else may wanna.
We want to
Take
do my
place.
front row.
Yeah.
I guess the next thing on the agenda is a discussion on the old jail, which, I thought we'd already decided.
I don't-
Anybody here?
I don't think they're
I
here.
don't think that.
So can that, since, it's already been the last meeting, where Crane was here. It was voted on.
At this point, I don't think there is any discussion.
Okay, I just wanted to,
Yeah. Yeah,
They kind of backed out, haven't they?
I believe so. I didn't get an answer to this morning, put it that way.
I mean, they're not here, so.
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
so I guess we'll just mark that off and
Yep.
continue on. but-
Yep. I don't think they understood having the advertised, then they could be outbid. And then what a mess you would have, the same would continue. Just like, waste our time, let's get it done. We wasted enough time.
Okay, well, let's move on to the minutes from March 17th. I was on that Zoom, so in fact, did you make a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Claims 1 through 151 in $390,137.67. And then payroll claims,
I'll make a motion to accept.
second, all those in favor?
Aye.
And
Yes.
I failed to put on there the drainage board minutes of the 7th, so
Okay.
I don't know if you know that motion to cover both or make a separate.
The drainage board minutes, do you want to include that with your motion? And we'll second
Sure.
that. Okay. Review and acknowledge clerk's monthly report for January 2022.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
No. February recorded collections as submitted, for the ambulance for January, February, quarter for the health and the recorder for February.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. Just kind of general. Is this in the
Just for the
judges?
jail?
Yeah, that's for the judges. Sorry.
Judge.
Yeah, it's in circuit court.
Okay. I recognize the program, so.
Yeah.
You're free now.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Did you have a comment?
She's just depleted her budget and in the red and she's wanting to cover that and if anybody else needs evaluated, which we're really early in the year.
Yeah. Request to transfer for snow removal, $10, from county general.
So
Report
my
house.
question
I
is,
mean, it's a
are we, did that just cover strictly snow or everything outside?
That's just the snow removal. That's from the invoices that we've received so far. we're $40 short from paying those.
And I think the discussion at the council meeting, we had talked about smart contract, we didn't really budget for that contract, and so I asked, you know, if money could be transferred down that $2,000 down to line item to cover, you know, those things, but I don't know.
Do you want to do that and do it out of the part-time?
I mean, you've
line?
got 2,000 in there, if we're not using that, that would kind of help you do that, but what's the 33,600?
It's repairs and maintenance. I just took it out of there to,
So I think you can transfer from 100s down,
okay,
and if, because we're gonna have future mowing costs,
so you just want to transfer the whole 2,000 down?
I would entertain that, or just change that.
I'll
wording.
make that motion.
And that number would be 10,600, 10,600.
Okay. Thank you. So we'll do 2,000, all second, all those in favor? Aye. So, that'd be easier for you in the long run instead of transferring a little bit here. And now, plan resolution 2022-2. I think we introduced that the last meeting, is that correct?
I'll make a motion that we're accepting, right? Yeah, you can approve that on the, it's already been discussed, but you can pass a resolution and see.
I'll second that. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 2-0. Okay, the clerk has an agreement for her postage meter rental and other meter. Money budget as well, so.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve, and I can't do that contract, that's just it. Okay,
Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that, all those in favor?
Aye.
2-0.
Let's make sure we get this one. I got money to
I've
spend.
got a stack nowhere. Malcolm fuel tax refund, I know it was a short little blurb about it, so was there more information? I'm just,
I asked him, he said, it's something the highway department normally does, but he sent it to me. And I don't know, Jason, do you know if we've ever gotten, money back on the fuel tax on diesel and, well, he's wanting to do this. So,
Pam, are you familiar? Like, I'm not either, I'm a little hesitant on doing it.
well,
Because
I agree.
there's very little information.
I took it on myself to reach out to Jeff Dawson because we had used him for,
Okay,
and I know this guy does kind of the same thing. Jeff was checking into, Jeff has not done it. So, but I talked to that Charles Malinkowski and he said it's a 50-50 split up to $1,500. And then after that, there's no charge. So he would get the first 1,500 of any, or be a 50-50 split up to $1,500 if we got any money back. But the highway department would have to go through and do all the tickets. It sounds like a lot of work for them. As far as, you know, the different kinds of diesel, road diesel.
We used to do it years ago, but.
Did you? Okay,
Was it worth it?
was it worth it?
Worth it, yeah.
was it?
Okay.
Well, also graders and everything, they were charged fuel tax.
Okay.
It wasn't really too hard to separate it. But I didn't have to, I had a good girl doing it.
So, here's the thing.
Yes, I'm fine with thinking about it and you getting more information, yes.
Fuel tax refund,
I'll give you this
some guy
paper,
wanted to
Jason.
do it for us and
Yeah, there was,
take part of the money.
I'd have been a lot more
Great.
comfortable if there was a little more information than what.
Well,
was,
yeah, that's all I know, and I asked him about it, and he
Why don't we get some references from other counties?
get references, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would feel better about that. Because it's- Stacy's gonna have to do the extra.
Yeah, she's gonna go through all the tickets. And I think it does, you can go back to yours.
Oh, really? Okay.
So,
I mean, I'm not totally against like this.
No,
Yeah.
if he can get us some money, it's not too much work on the staff. and-
we can get back, we can get back up to 3 years.
Okay.
So,
You guys all right with that? We're gonna check the references, see if there are any other counties.
Yeah, if we get money back on, why wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, let's move on to the Snyder Beacon service agreement for the website. Roger, was very helpful on negotiating with them. And years back, we had talked with them.
Yeah, we can't be without this site here.
No, the layers that we have been working towards, I don't want to undo.
Right.
And I think you guys are happy with that website.
yes, we've used it. My office has it up, I think 24/7, somebody does.
Mine actually.
So we want to continue with this, so
I'll make a motion.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Two. USI supplemental agreement, one requesting $27,213 due to the recent changes in the load rating requirements that are being dictated by
Federal highway.
Yeah. Federal highway something, or other.
agency, so I don't know what the W is, what is it?
So,
That's it.
yeah. Everybody's getting it, I mean,
I'm assuming so, yes. I mean, the changes, yeah,
unfortunately, we don't have-
yeah, we have no choice.
This is just a supplement to the agreement you have to.
Mhm.
I'll make the motion.
All second, all in favor? Aye.
I've got the attachments, if you guys want to see them, but there's what needs to be signed.
Next on the list is the city of Attica, the road inventory. There's 200 feet portion. Tim, I think you're a little more familiar with.
The city, the county's currently paid for this roadway that Attica wants to take over. South Carolina Xavier Road down to the Badlands. We have had nothing but complaints on that thing for years. They can have it. And then also out on Bethel Road by the old RLC plant. We are inside Atticus, well, supposedly inside Atticus city limits, over it says county again. That's been rough for years too, clear out to Elmville. They're gonna take that. Great, good for them. That's what we're signing away. I'll make the motion to let Attica have that roadway. And it comes off our inventory.
I'll look into getting that off the inventory, 'cause I
Okay.
think we'll do it.
And you know what, Jason, we need to step down. There are several others we probably need to look at and get on. A prime example in that area is Badlands. There's a road that goes completely through the Badlands that hasn't been used. Oh, maybe since I was born. So that's on the state, so we probably need to get together and just go over and just do it all at once. So, okay.
Let me know. I'm not sure I signed that.
I'll
Okay,
make
awesome.
a motion to, yeah, I think I made a motion.
You did make a
to have
motion.
it roadway.
And I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 2-0.
Okay.
Okay, the old jail, we're going through the underground storage tank closure work plan. Something to sign for that, don't we?
Yes, okay.
I'll make a motion to have Roger order what he needs. Get started on it.
Actually, there's nothing to sign, it's just the work plan and need to prove it.
Okay, we'll just go ahead and initial it, and then we can, if you can let Roger know that we did approve for him to go ahead and order the environmental. It's really necessary. So we're gonna move this, and then I'll second that, all in favor, aye. So, River Strategic Services LLC service contract. I wasn't able to meet with Barry. Did you want to expand on what his
Yeah.
contract entailed?
We are hiring Barry Ritter, who is the ex-state 911 director, to help us with our move, tell us what all we need, make sure we don't mess everything up as a consultant. That's basically it. What we're hiring. So, very helpful, very knowledgeable man. I'll make a motion to contract with Ritter Services,
Okay,
LLC.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
So, Maybe Lock & Key security system that we currently have at the Maple Corner Annex.
It was $450.
$440, I believe.
Yes, I didn't get that changed,
That's all
sorry.
right,
Well, no, you changed it on this.
but it's not on here.
Okay.
That is per year.
Yes. So I make a motion to use Haley Lock & Key for Maple Corner Building for $440.
I'll second that, all those in favor? So. Introduction of ordinance 2022-2.
That's the
That's-
ARP.
uh-huh.
No, these are the European fund ordinance.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, sorry. Thank you. Yes, here they are.
CCD and QCAP bridge.
oh, because we're reestablishing.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Have you guys heard any, is there, the State House just eliminate the need to continue to reestablish the rate, or have you guys,
I have not heard yet.
I hope, I heard that, I hope that's true, but we still have to do it this year.
I mean, if it's, you're keeping the same, I don't know why you have to do this every year. That's just
Right.
extra money for
It's
advertising.
part of the Hoosier State Press that, are the lobbyists.
Probably. That'd be my opinion.
Which, you know, we went through this process last year because we were going after a federal bridge, and we did get that awarded to us for Bridge 202. So, that was my plea, you know, with the council, is to up the rates a little bit so that you didn't see a huge jump in the rate. So, anyway, we'll have to see what they want to collect, you know, so that we can be ready once we, get to the timeframe of having to pay all of them.
Well, Colleen,
Years out.
is 22-2, is that the CCD?
Mhm.
Yes. And really, that one's not changing.
Just reestablishing.
It's at the same.
0.0333.
And then on the Cume Bridge, I
We just
just
can't
can't
do
1%.
Yeah. And that's good. I think that's what we did before. We'll introduce, you know, these two ordinances and then pass them at the next. I'll bring these back to us. Can you look over? So I've seen these so many times, so I'm pretty familiar with them. Okay. I see there's something about lawn.
Well, you guys kind of
Yeah,
adjust
the
that.
lawn mowing. We had an agreement with Smarts that they would give us a certain rate for snow removal if they mowed our yard. Most of the companies, that's how, all the companies, they would not do the snow if they didn't get yard mowing services also. Our point is, Rick is not gonna be here for us. And we're lining up for that day that he's not here. Until then, there's plenty, I heard that no one knew what Rick was gonna do. There's plenty of stuff around here he can do. He can still trim bushes, he can still pick the trash up out of the yard or whatever, he can still clean in here. There's plenty for him to do. He's not gonna have a lack of anything to do. But we are preparing for the day that he says he's done or he's done, one or the other. So that's the reason why we said Smarts was gonna mow the yard.
But council, that wasn't at your meeting, but the council said that they weren't going to provide the money for that. You just said a minute ago, you're $40 in the hole, why it wasn't paid, I don't know. I wasn't at the meeting, Colleen, there's a minutes, what the council decided
Yes,
not to do.
you made a motion to, you didn't really go along with the contract or whatever you didn't want to outsource the lawn mowing, you wanted Rick to continue.
That's
And
kind of what I heard, that they didn't want to outsource this. Oh, he's here, he can do that. And way back, when he decided to do the snow removal, that's when he was gonna have a knee operation. That's the way I understand it. And I thought that was a temporary, going to be a temporary thing.
Rick didn't want, and I don't blame Rick. I wouldn't want to do the snow removal around here. One man, it's very, very hard. I don't blame the man at all for not wanting to do snow. I understood it to be forever. That's why we contracted with Smarts. And that's why we told them that, yes, if you give us a good price on snow, you can mow. And that's exactly what we told them.
Because for years, they had $2,000 in there for part-time, it never got used.
Well, we used it 1 year. That's all the help I can get.
Guys, I don't care. I'm in the middle of this. I was told to get the mower ready to go. I got the service ready to go. I'm 50-50. Just tell me what you want to do. But it don't make
For the
sense. to me.
simple fact, Rick, you might not be here tomorrow.
Nobody can be free,
Right, exactly.
but.
We're just trying.
I see where we're coming from, but this year, I just think while I'm here, we got all the equipment to mow. You got a big decision.
But we already told them we would do this.
You want,
We already told them we would do this.
well, I'm here opposite from the different side. I'm just, you know what I'm saying?
You're hearing the opposite from who? Well, that's fine. But you didn't hear that from Smarts. They didn't give them that, okay. Okay, I can see that, yeah, okay.
But I just like to know either way, you know what I'm saying? I got it ready to go, I got all the machine ready to go, if you wanna pay them $125 a week, twice a week, more, go for it. But I just. That's the council, we're gonna fund the money. But I was told they wasn't gonna fund it.
What's the contract call for the entire year to remove the snow, mow the lawn? What kind of money do we have on that? What was the total price for the year?
Well, it depends on how much it snows, it depends on if it rains, Tom.
The salt was the big problem, it was gonna be high price. You didn't know how much salt was gonna be used, that was the problem. Okay, as I can remember, we can go back and look at the report or the notes or whatever. But my thought and what I heard was that they did not want to fund the mowing part because we could do it. I know you signed the contract, we thought it was a little bit ahead of the game because we didn't know how he was gonna be over there. That's what I understand. I also understand the point that we had to. And I also think that, what was the vote on that, Colleen? Was it unanimous that we wanted Rick to do it? And probably, so we can cut to the run here, probably when Dudley said what he was gonna do, council, and they voted on it, got back to Rick, so Rick, you could do the mowing. That's plain out. That's exactly what I probably understand. I bet you guys do too. I bet you thought that's probably where it came from. Somebody had to give him the notice to do that. And so what he heard in that meeting, right, you were there, Brenda? Were you at the, Brenda? Were you at the meeting?
First of all, Tom, that's not the council. You guys control the money 100%.
Exactly.
You don't control the employees or what they do.
Didn't say we would.
Okay, I just wanted to say that's the problem.
Well, that was.
And also you need to understand when we got a $40,000 down, payment hasn't been paid. And the council voted on to do this it's a better financial decision to let him mow it and save that $140,000 for what?
4,000.
Oh, 4,000. I think you said 40.
They thought it was gonna be $4,000 to $5,000 for him to mow.
No,
That's what they were talking about at the meeting.
The says normally.
$125.
125 per pipe. So if it rains every day, he's gonna mow a lot. If it's a dry year, they might mow 30 times, 20 times. You don't know.
Yeah.
It's an unknown.
You know, you have a drought, it's gonna be less. When you have rain, it's gonna be
Rain
more.
like it's doing right now, it's gonna be worse. You don't know. Let's get Andrew here at the next stage before we do anything.
thank you. The council meets, instead of me going over things, I wasn't here. I'm just telling you that not the last meeting, but the meetings before, Rick was not able to do some of these things. And since he's back, and we voted to have him do more. And I wasn't sure just exactly how much that was going to be per mowing segment, okay? So that's what.
I just think it'd be very important to get one meeting, the council and the commissioners together on this, and decide. Then go back and forth. That's up to you guys.
Yeah, I've made them.
Kim, I'm just doing, two sides. I'm glad to mow it. I had to snow 3 times and stuff to save the county money. Which I don't mind. You're right, the base knows that.
We'll just table that.
So we'll table it, and next year, when we figure out smart to do the snow, they're gonna tell us to cram it. And we'll be up. What's gonna happen, like.
Okay, cool. Let's move on to park codes.
Sure. I've done a whole lot. Received a letter last week, that Medicare reimbursement money that we receive every year. We got the 2019 reimbursement, I think it's $10,600 or something like that. So, not a lot, but it's better than nothing right now. With a lot of our, used to, it was a bigger amount, with a lot of people on traditional Medicaid, but a lot of them switched over to managed care, so we don't get that at this point. But we're hearing there's some legislation coming out that are gonna go back to reimbursing the managed care side. We just not seen anything yet. Other than that, holding our own right now. That's all I really had. You guys have anything?
Reaching out for new ambulance and
I've been talking a little bit, right now, we're looking minimum 12 months, if not longer. I asked to actually see if there was any demos available, but nobody's even got any demos available at this point, so. But we're looking 12, 18 months right now. The chassis are what's giving us the trouble. Yep, I'll keep working on that.
thank you.
Yep, all right.
Thanks, Doug.
Same. She's on there. You guys have something? No. Okay.
Well, I don't think so. All I have is to report the numbers of the sale.
Okay,
If you
can I,
want
can I get a list of that? I have to go to. There are a few people that are gonna be picking up some stuff and,
Some of the stuff hasn't disappeared, we need to know who.
yeah, there's still
Call
some
them.
things in the bakery, which I know one thing, they're gonna come about 12:30 today. And there's another gentleman going over there to get something.
After paying the auctioneer and the workers, it came, the total sale was $78,999. After paying the auctioneer, the workers, and I had two invoices totaling $19,783.58 for BT Reynolds to do all the preliminary stuff. Right now, we're at $45,154.77. I took the Newton's clean bill out of county general, and this stuff that I just paid for came out of a fund set up special for Maple Corner. So I don't know if you want to move that over to Newton's, over to the sale part. But I went ahead and paid it because this wasn't set up or anything yet.
Yeah. I think we would over this one, right, or does it matter?
Well, if you're wanting to keep track of what we actually
Yeah.
did.
I think I'd like
Yeah.
to move it over, and that way we've got all the figures in one spot.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Okay.
Let me check my bit. I mean, there's some costs, I mean, there's, obviously, we can't shut off the gas, electric.
No, they did a lot of work, and those coolers and things, oh my gosh. I mean,
And Ken, I have a question, some of the exhaust, they're on the roof, there was some interest of individuals wanting them. Of course, the liability just like scares me on if they want to go and retrieve that themselves, or how do we want to proceed?
What's do you have a ballpark on the value?
I don't know.
Worthless. I mean, they're old.
And they need to be removed at some point, but it's like, are we gonna hire someone to remove them?
I would probably recommend, I mean, if it's, you would have to, if it's worthless, or if the cost of sale would exceed the whatever value it has, and just declare it surplus and that it's junk, then you can do whatever with it that you want. I think, I don't recommend having people just come take it.
I know,
I mean, I would defer to,
and we can wait until Andrew gets back from the next meeting, but I know it's something we're going to need to do in the future, because they need to come off, they're kind of capped off right now, because there's a lot of cold air coming in.
if they're capped, then we just defer to, wait till you're counting, you're under construction, and
Okay.
that's just part,
And-
that's removed as part of that, then whoever wants it, you junk it, then you can give it to whoever you want, first come, first served.
Whatever I can-
Just one of those other tabs. Oh, here.
people here.
Yeah. And Louis.
What I'm requesting, and this is for security or panic buttons that we have. Just to give you a little bit of a history on it, here about 2 weeks ago, we had an incident in the courthouse. I pushed a button, it didn't work. We got a hold of the company and they came and checked them. And we did, and he found out too, we done a upgrade on the system. And what we found out was when we redone the program, where we could actually see where the buttons were signals going into the system, we found several of them not intermittently going in and out. That's what was going on. And so he said, what we do is put a repeater in. So he brought one, a used one, set it up, And when he did that, they all come online. And so what we're asking for is a repeater that we can put in. We're needing one distress button. And that's for Kim. During the move that they made, they lost it. When that's been a year ago, but anyway, we want to replace it. Anyway, that's what I'm asking for. I don't have that in my budget, and that would have to come out of the county. But we did, when we said that, we now have the ability to go on our computer and look at, on a daily situation and tell whether there's a button that's actually hitting the system, or even if it's got a weak battery. You don't change the battery, but it's like we've never had that before. I've been changing batteries once a year or every other year at a pretty good cost. And according to the gentleman that was here, we should be able to go 2 years on our battery. So that just by being able to get that or look at keeping track on that.
Yes.
Anyway, again, what I'm requesting is funds with the repeater 650, the button is $135, and the shipping is $10, and it's $7.95 for the whole.
I'll make a motion. Go ahead with it.
I'll second that. All's in favor?
Aye.
Colleen, I'm sure we have some capital outlay that we can take out. Yeah. Okay, all right, thank you.
And if anyone wants to come on after the meeting and look at it, show you what we're capable of doing. The other thing that we can do now too is, and that's something I need to talk to the office holders about, is if we can set it up so that if one of them in their office pushes the stress button, it not only goes over the radio, but the office holder can get a text and or email that button has been activated. And one thing I'm thinking of that is if, let's say, the auditor sets it off, the reporter, all the other offices get a text or email that they got a problem in their office, we can shut doors. That just gives a bigger advance instead of having the auditor pick up the phone and make an announcement. It's a silent announcement and everybody is aware of it. So that's something that we're going to look into, but that's another ability we have now that we didn't know we had.
Awesome.
So, I think that's all I have unless you have something. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jenny, do you have anything?
I would do just that we continue to work on our complaint properties. So, but we're some are successful, some take a little longer. Outside of that one.
And I know Messick reached out to me, which I seen her in person. She was asking what kind of updates. I said, unfortunately,
It's a long process.
yes.
If they don't comply.
That's what I told her. And I did thank her for, reaching out because sometimes, we do forget, of asking. So,
Yeah, and that's been a continual problem in that area. So.
yeah. Okay.
And with that one, that's part of that trailers. So that's something that, we want to continue to address.
And I know you brought up, trailers before.
There's new legislation to protect manufactured housing. So we're trying to sort through that further. We have another client that's revising their zoning ordinance and less and less we can do about trailers and manufactured housing.
All right. Thank you,
Thanks,
Jenny.
Jen.
Highway. Oh, come on. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to be back here. Travis, so I'm going to refer to him for this meeting, if that's okay with him, to give you guys an update. 'cause-
Well, look at shock on this.
What's changed? Yeah.
I know we have a lot of things going on right now with community crossing grants, and we just were awarded the federal bridge award, for Bridge 202. So anyway, kind of excited about that.
I would like to get with someone and go over the budget, and just so I can get my head wrapped around what's going on with it right now, if that's all right with Colleen and those of you.
I'm sure colleagues will help you.
Um,
I'm happy to help out. I've gone in there and talked to Stacy a few times. On top of her working with Colleen, and, you know, I just stressed to her, you know, the importance of the community crossing grants, and her keeping track of paperwork. And, you know, just, she didn't know,
Right,
you know, but now moving forward, she knows that she needs to keep track of that stuff, along with the auditor does too, because the auditor gets audited by state board of accounts. So I want, you know, both departments to have their information, so when they communicate to one another, you're not getting lost in there. And USI has been great. I mean, I've had, I don't know how many of them reach out to me, email. I've included Colleen in the emails too, just so that she knows what's going on, because she's been having to produce a lot of the information, you know, to get us to this point. So we'll get through it, but moving forward, hopefully Stacy will be educated in what she needs to do, because it's all new.
yeah, we'll get back on track.
Sure. Appreciate it. I'm gonna call you too.
Yes, I will.
Okay,
Thank you, guys, I'm looking forward to having you back.
you too, thank you.
Jason, thanks, Travis.
Greg, did you have anything for us on landfill?
No, we're moving forward, whether there's been no problems out there, so.
Okay, the sheriff here? Yeah.
Nope.
Susan, did you have anything?
I don't, but if you have anything for me,
I don't have anything.
questions?
No. Have a stack of stuff.
Tax day machine mailed out on April 1st, should anyway, made on Wells Fargo still. Did their escrow pre-commit file. That's about it, they should get it here today.
Jason, I just want to let you know that I'm going to this lunch and learn. USI is putting on understanding the federal funding process, so I did sign up and I'll be going to that tomorrow. They're in Whitestown. I reached out to Stacy, but you know, she's on vacation, so I said, I'll go learn and not gonna hurt. And they usually put together a pretty good program every so often. USI will either have other commissioners speak. So it's been very beneficial. So I'll let you know what anything new. And I'll
I'm going to keep you on the website.
Oh, very good.
Bonnie and Tim has done extensive work lately. They've been out and gotten pictures. We've got them back to the project manager, and she is setting it up with the designer, and from what I understand, it'll be 2 or 3 weeks before he gets back with us, but it's just not a click and go process. Some of the office holders aren't understanding, and we're doing the best we can, and it's
Awesome, thank you.
it's
I know
it's
that-
coming. We've set up the design, and
Can you
try to make it.
Make sure to turn Tim's picture right side up.
Yes, that has been a comment.
Or totally upside down.
Hey, we have professional pictures
Some
too that you can
people
share with you.
Okay. But, they will be sending out a questionnaire and everything to, the office holders or departments, and they are basically responsible for their own page. So if they don't respond, it's on them, it's not on us. And,
So they each will have like a user.
And they'll be, there's some design things they need to do up front, I believe.
Okay.
And then they'll have the capability of uploading whatever they want to upload. So,
So I know I've had some people ask me about agendas or
Pictures and stuff.
minutes, you know. put
We
on
have
there.
a tab at the top, I believe, that'll have minutes and agendas. There's, we try to make it as user friendly as we could, instead of like, we looked at some other websites, they had the recorder under taxes, we didn't figure the recorder had much to do with taxes. So I think our tab says county government, you click on it and it has each department. There's gonna be a separate page or box to click on for elections, so all your election, the clerk has to update whatever, so we did a separate tab for that from the clerk. We tried to make it, like, put ourselves in that experience, you know, going in, you know, and try to make it user friendly.
It's appreciated. It's.
The girls have worked hard on it.
It'll be nice when it's done.
Oh, absolutely.
Did you have anything else?
No, did you get anybody to submit any pictures with green instead of the like?
We tried to
No
steal
green
some
on.
from other
Good.
cities and townships and we got permission first, of course, but the pixels were too small. So we're gonna have to update them once it gets greener out.
But we do have a guy that is going to do a drone of the county over some of the highlight spots, and that'll be on our, I call it the ribbon across the top.
I mean, I have some pictures of the outside courthouse.
Well, yeah, we might forward it to us, and we can, if we want to use them.
I did want to comment a little bit, you know, on the sale that we had. We had a huge turnout and a lot of the building is empty. There's still a few things down the basement. Tim and I did another walkthrough the other day. Fish tank looks different without the fish there and the hummel. They're gone, so it's a little different feel there, but still got a lot of work to do, and once we get Perry River in there to do his part, there'll be more changes here pretty soon, but you have anything else?
Well, just ask, yeah. I guess we're to the next staff level. When, how do we get people in the bid and walk through, do we publicly announce?
The sale of the,
No, on the reconstruction. Construction, I mean, our 911 guy's got to get in there first and do some design work and see how much he needs and everything, but at what point do we, it's not like a new builder, at what point do we put in the paper, we're seeking bids and
just as soon as you're ready, if you have can help to have a,
so we'll need a drawing, probably have to hire an architect on that.
yeah, start with your design professional, and then they'll have to design it, and then
We have to decide who we want in there.
you know, you can hire, that's a service, you can, just, it depends on how, on the financing. Just, there's variables, but you can do a request for proposals and then select. You can submit it, you can interview, and as a service, there's not a formal process you have to follow for the design professional. Once the design is complete, and the drawings are ready, so actually. That's about a work project. Just kind of a flow chart on whichever path we want to follow for the initial design phase.
Same thing about the fleet. Vehicles for the 28th, we have a 10-car on site at Tuggle Drain.
Yeah, what, is that mandatory, or does whoever wants to show up?
I think it's mainly for Roger, we need to go. over
It's for
and
Roger,
ask
but I mean, I
questions.
think,
You guys.
I've never been there. So, and I don't know, the highway,
Fields and ditches and mud.
I know that's all I've heard, from him, but anyway, I just wanted to make that announcement.
That was part of the letter that he would be on site at that time.
Right.
Because April was.
Also, and if anybody out there, is that being sent out to all the landowners too?
Yes, that,
Okay.
it's for the
So they can
landowners
meet
to
out
meet,
there,
so he
okay.
can kind of show and explain. I was
Okay.
just trying to pull that up.
I have a question, guys. On the Maple Corner, we had to clean here a while back. You had a firm come in and do some cleaning on the basement, mold or anything like that?
Oh, yeah, that was Newton's.
Just keep asking.
Newton's.
Yeah.
They removed.
We all okay on?
$4,000 some dollars. I
Yeah.
think. Yes, we're fine in there. It looks good.
I
It was
just
all-
haven't
it was
been there
all-
since.
It was all contained, so, yeah, there's a few things there. Like I said, a lot of the shelving and everything is gone, but there's a few piles here or there that need to be taken out of the basement and then it'll be pretty well wiped out.
I'm glad to hear we got rid of coming in, taking a look 911. Kind of gives us an idea, planning idea how it's gonna be, it's a good idea,
And it looks a whole lot bigger with everything out.
but it,
It does.
On the county farm, we haven't talked about it recently. Kent is still in the process of finding out, going back and seeing if it, what the history of that is, if there is anything in it that says it can't be sold. Or whatever, he's still doing the research on that, so as soon as we find that out, we'll, decide on that 17 acres or whatever, whether to put it on. So.
I don't have anything else.
Probably do, but can't remember.
Fine.
What's that?
Pick our brain, do we have something else that we need to address?
I don't think so. I've got, what's that?
The barns and ponds.
Oh, we talked about that earlier.
I think we covered everything, all the contracts and everything that we need to be voted on.
I'll make a motion to close the meeting.
And we'll second that. All those in favor? Aye. Good. Thank you, everyone.